Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV and welcome back to the Friday Night Social. And this is a Champions League preview all about tomorrow night's game versus Lyon. And you might notice we've got a new guest on tonight. And I want to say a massive thank you to Emily. Emily, how are you?
Really good, thanks Andy, and thank you so much for having me as well. Thanks guys for letting me come on. It's really nice.
No, it's brilliant to have you on at last. I know we chatted last week, was it, or the week before when you came over to my house, and it's brilliant to have you. Brilliant to have you on, Martin. No, she didn't come on to my house. She was with her husband.
I'm not married. Before. There's no ring.
Well, all right. A partner.
He knew exactly. He cracked straight away.
It's his dirty mind. He is like that. She was with her partner. Anyway, we've got the filthy mind on tonight. How are you, mate?
That's just made my Friday night.
Well, it wasn't that funny.
I know.
Right, yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Nice one. How are you, Tom? I see the hair's getting a bit Bouffontaine there.
Yeah, we've had it cut today. We have it nicely done. Yeah, shapened. You know, you can't see it much because of the light, but yeah, it's been trimmed and sorted out, so I didn't get hate from everybody. I thought I'd go and get it done today, so I didn't get a lot of grief off everybody in the comments about having Warburton's fit cut on top of my head. So yeah, it's looking a little bit more stylish. But yeah, it's been good. It's been a good day. Yeah, I've been playing golf with my mate. Went up to the local driving range. Yeah, it's been a good day.
Nice one. If you don't know Emily, he got his hair cut after lockdown, and he had a Phil Foden, and everyone was just like, "Oh my God, what is that all about?" So then he started pushing it up, and then he started getting comments from Kiam and others saying it looks like you've got a Warburton thick cut on your head.
Leave it to Phil. Leave it to Phil.
I know, bless him. Right, let's see who's on. God, we've got loads on already, and we've only just started. We've got people commenting about the scores, which we're going to talk about the Barca Bayern Munich game. Just quickly, I'll put a few comments up before we go, because we've got Emily for around about 45 minutes to an hour, so we'll get into the Lyon preview fairly quickly. Lankow says, wow, if Bayern can do this to Barcelona's defenders, what can they do to ours? If we get past the East scared, our defence is faster, younger, smarter, says Frosty Nut. He thinks it'll be a different story when it comes to City. That's if we get through Lyon. Remember, we've got Lyon still to play yet. Frosty again says Barca is getting violated. They certainly got violated tonight. Yeah. The Barca Bayern game gone nuts. It was mental, absolutely mental. We'll quickly talk about that in a minute. We've got Helen the Bell on. Oh, I remember. I used to sit behind Helen the Bell. City can beat that Munich team. They weren't that great. Barca just down tools tonight, like City did.
I agree with that.
You agree?
I agree. I think it wasn't so much that Bayern were absolutely outstanding. Barca were completely dreadful. A lot of negativity from City fans towards potentially getting Bayern if we beat Lyon. And the scoreline is really impressive, but let's not forget Barcelona were dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, I caught bits of the game, and then I came in here to set up for tonight, and I was watching. Oh, one thing I will say, I set up on my laptop with BT Sports, because obviously we've got BT for the broadband, and their online stuff on your laptop is absolutely incredible. You can go into a setting that brings up all that scroll.
Yeah,
you can click, you can go back while it's live and go back and watch, because I missed it.
It's great,
watching the goals, and it goes back to live, and then watched it. It's brilliant, absolutely amazing. Wish you could do that with Sky Sports. It was really, really good. I can't put Kevin Jardine basically says that Barcelona was shit tonight. They weren't great. I mean, I did hear the commentator go, and Messi just given the ball away and has just walked away and just walked up the field while they scored I think it was the 8th goal.
He did.
Kurt says Messi didn't run for the team, was at fault for at least one, if not two of the goals. Iona Beat says, come on, Blue, stay positive. Barca were bloody awful tonight. Sean Fogarty says, I'm worried about Lyon as well. Kevin says, if we get past Lyon, we should have another to beat Munich. Chris is on. How are you, buddy? He's one of the moderators. All this worrying, grab a beer and chill.
Yes.
Not you, Sean.
agree.
Sean.
I agree.
You're too young. Scott Williams says, agree with Helen the Bell. The Munchen defence isn't great, but bigger questions will fall out from this. Barca manager gets a chop. Would Pep be tempted to go back? Has Garcia burnt all his bridges? Chris thinks Klopp to Barca. Ooh, there you go.
Go on then.
Pep won't go anywhere near the Barca team. John Grogan is on. Sorry, massive jump now. Got over nearly 115 people on. Big Martin says, "We love you, Martin. We do. We love you, Martin.
That's
we do."
not me. I'm not right.
It's definitely you. That's why you're looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his son. He's prepped this by his little Martin. Evening,
Martin.
everyone. Andy, sorry, mate.
Right.
After the match, unfortunately, I've lowered my expectations, especially with our defence all over the place. Hope I'm wrong. Wonder will be our right centre back.
$1 billion question.
It will be, and we will be coming to that. Roberto Blondie is another mod. He's come on. I have never seen a team going behind and deciding not to fight like Barca tonight to guarantee the sacking of their manager. This was an appalling pretense of an attempt by Barca. Wasn't good. It really wasn't. Pardo Oaks is on. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. He says hello to everyone. GA Football. Hi, Andy. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Eric Ampong is on. Munich just had their day today. If we bypass Lyon, the story will certainly be a different city.
Who was that? JSGA Football.
Yeah. BHE FIFA says every aspect of Barca was a joke tonight. Right, okay, well, let's start there then. Barcelona 2, Bayern Munich 8. What were your thoughts, Martin, watching that? I'm assuming you watched it. I saw about 40 minutes in total of it. I watched the last sort of 20 minutes on my laptop here, but what were your thoughts?
You know, I watched it. I rang you to see what you thought of it.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah.
I agree with Emily a bit. Barcelona were absolutely awful. But I've said for weeks that is a team in transition. It totally is a team in transition. I think they lost the first half now. This is not anyone I know.
It's defo you. It is defo you, isn't it? It's defo you.
Tell your son that is, or your wife that is not good.
I'm not married, thank you very much. Can you see a ring on that?
Or your partner.
Oh, we're playing that game
Emily's
now.
made the point. I'm making the point. Thank you very much, whoever Big Martin is anyway.
Yeah, your son.
I know.
If my son's writing that, we're having words. You've lost me train of thought now.
We're talking about.
Get some glasses.
We're talking about the Barca. Obviously, Bayern 8-2. I mean, that's. I know they gave up towards the end, but still 4-1 after. I think it was. I was watching 36 minutes. They were 4-1 up. I mean, it's in a Champions League quarter final. It's. I don't know. What were your thoughts, Tom?
It was a very exciting first 10 minutes. I watched the full game. It was a crazy own goal. I must say that. That's good. That's good.
That's a reference to Tom. Go on, mate.
Yeah, I know it is. It's funny that. Yeah, I thought it was a good game. Bayern Munich started pretty well, pretty easy. The defensive, both sides defensively in the first 35 minutes were poor, very poor. Messi, as much as everybody says he's absolutely brilliant, because he is, he's one of the best players ever to be playing in football. But he didn't step up tonight. That was another thing. He doesn't step up in those big games like Ronaldo does. I thought it was the scoreline. for Barcelona is itself is quite shocking. 8-2 in any game is quite embarrassing. But when you've got Barcelona, one of the best teams, renowned as one of the best teams in the world, it is quite shocking. I thought that Nathan Semedo was absolutely mugged off by Alphonso Davies. So if we were choosing which side of fullback we wanted, we definitely want Alphonso Davies over Semedo. Thank you very much, because Semedo was shocking. But yeah, they didn't. As soon as they went, they obviously got the own goal, which was a poor goal. It was a good goal from Alaba, but just in the wrong end. But if that was the only time they were in the game, because the rest of the time Bayern Munich took over, and if they didn't cock up on that occasion, it'd have been a complete runaway show. And they could have had more than 8. They could have been 10, but easily 10 if they'd have finished all the chances. So yeah, quite a shocking result really for a quarter-final of a Champions League game, definitely.
Warren Smith says, mate, would rather out tomorrow than face that team with one centre-back. Don't want no smoke whatsoever. Can see us being similarly demolished, just saying what we're all thinking.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're not. You're not saying what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, we're going to come to you, Emily. Go on then. What were your thoughts on that game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'd watched the games previously. Like Bayern completely demolished Chelsea, but Barcelona weren't convincing in the previous game for me. And watching the two, I thought if we get past Lyon at this point, I definitely want Barcelona, because they are not the team that they once were. Going into the game, I thought it would be a high-scoring game, and I said early on as well when the goals started flowing. But it was just like nobody could have predicted 8-2. We knew it would be a high-scoring game, but the way that Barcelona capitulated, and they did capitulate, it was an absolute disaster. All over the park for Barcelona. It was Messi. Everybody going, oh yeah, Messi's going to come to City now because manager's leaving Barcelona and all that. I don't want him if he's not going to do any money, and if he's going to have legs like that, I don't want him at City. Well, you need somebody to run for the team. But in all seriousness, yeah, people are looking at the scoreline and thinking 8-2 Bayern. I wouldn't want them, but we can beat anybody on our day. Anybody. It just depends if it's our day, because we've been so inconsistent this season. So yeah, I am positive. I am really positive. Looking forward to Lyon, and it's just if we get past them, we shouldn't have anybody to fear, because we focus one by one on these games. That's the beauty of these knockouts now in the Champions League. We don't have the Premier League to distract from it. We've just got that to focus on, and that's it. Be positive.
So, move your mic, mate. You're heavy breathing again.
I was just texting him at the same time as you do.
Sorry, Emily, it wasn't anything to do with the fact that you're on. He just comes on and he forgets to put his mic out. Well, it might have been that you're on. Maybe it was.
I was laughing at Large Martin. Sorry, I was laughing at Large Martin. That's his mum now.
Is it somebody I noticed? I've got a feeling that's either Chris or somebody else who's changing names around.
Yeah, no, somebody is. Great Leather Barrow says we will struggle for legs in midfield versus Bayern. I think we've got to wait and get past Lyon first. Chris Baker says, please give the stream a thumbs up. Yes, absolutely. Any other comments? Let's just see. Sanskar Chowdhury says, Pep, KDB and Edison to the rescue. Well, I guess we'll wait and see on that one. We're going to talk about the Lyon game now. But just is there any final comments on this Mingy one? Happy Bayern after tonight. They look incredibly brilliant. Favourite contender to win. Well, I mean, my thought is get all your goals out the way against these teams, and hopefully that's Lewandowski done and everything else. Chris says to Martin, it ain't me. I would never give you a compliment.
That's true. That is true. That
is true. Now, Emily's probably thinking, what the hell's going on here tonight?
No.
No, I like it.
Roberto Blondie says Real Madrid won La Liga. Barca players threw the toys out the pram, blaming their manager. It was disgusting, and their performance tonight was players versus management to ensure a change. Disgusting attitude. Well, I think we've been saying it for a while, haven't we? Messi's had such a big input into the decisions that have gone on at Barca. But anyway, Barca's gone. Carl Buxton, let's just see. Barcelona looked beaten as soon as Bayern scored their third. Disgraceful, defeatist attitude.
Yeah, they gave up.
Yeah, and that's gone. And we're not playing. We're not playing Barca or Bayern. Certainly not Barca now. But
I've got to say, Andy, that's why I would never want Messi at the club. Because could you imagine that attitude? I know everyone's going to think that's madness.
I just could never see Messi doing that under Pep.
Never.
The fact is, we've known now for 4 months that there's been absolute turmoil at Barca, and they've all hated this manager, and there's been all sorts of stuff going on. You've got to remember, it's not just the manager; they've also been at the board as well over the fact of non-payments and things like that, and promises that they haven't come through with. So yeah, maybe that comment somebody made before is maybe that was tonight. They just went, give up, and that's it. If we get through, we get through. If not, I'm not bothered. And Messi's been... I can't see Messi doing that for Pep. He's never done it under Pep. And if he came to City...
Can you see him coming?
I'd still have him at City. Of course I would.
Yeah.
Even for a year or two. Of course I would. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think City will pay that type of money.
Is he not big enough for you, Martin? Is he not a big money signing?
No. He's not got your mate, the photographer, to send photos of Messi at City. But 1.2 million pounds a week.
Crazy.
Well, and it's funny, we were looking at the wages last night, weren't we?
Yeah.
And there's only about 2 or 3 players at City on the mega money. Everyone else is on quite.
Yeah, and a lot of I mean, that's not his salary, but I mean that's what he gets with all his things, for the club. So I'd love him at City just for a year or two, just to see him under Pep, but I can't see it happening. But anyway,
I'd like him to be challenging himself, just to push himself out. If you're the best in the world, challenge yourself and try it. Like you say, even if just for a year, at least you tried it. At least you can look back and not have that regret.
Well, he's clearly not been happy there for the last, by the sounds of it, and it's only paper rumour, but you see the way Barca's gone, of the last 12 months. It sounds like the last 12, 18 months, he's not been happy there. Manchester City for life. What did it say there? I'd rather Gabby to Messi. Don't hate me. No, not at all.
Thank you for your super chat.
Absolutely, thank you very much. I'm surprised he's not pushed himself over the last 2-3 years. Maybe nobody, unless he wants to take a 50% pay cut to move somewhere, nobody's going to pay that type of money for him. So, I guess we'll see. But on to forget Bayern, because we've got to get through tomorrow's game, which is an 8 o'clock kickoff, and that is going to be a Manchester City versus Lyon at the Estadio Jose Alvalade Stadium, and it's going to be a very interesting game. But I did have a look back at the previous game, like we have done on the previous podcasts and Friday Night Socials, talking about the game. Well, Juve, it was 2-2 on aggregate against Juve. They had. The Juve-Lyon game, 62% possession was with Juve, only 38% was with Lyon. Juve had 16 shots to 6 shots by Lyon. 6 on target by Juve to 2 on target by Lyon. 6 corners to Juve, 3 corners to Lyon. So that shows you the domination from a possession and shots on target point of view. Yet, Lyon, even though they got beat 2-1, prevailed over on the aggregate. So, their team was Lopez, Donea, who we know, Guedes, Fio, Martial, De Oliveira, Dubois, Caquet, or is it Cacaret, Guimares, Rodriguez, Maura, Aouar, Cornet, Depay, and Toko Nkabi. Is that right? Was all right with that one?
Yeah, well done.
Toko Kabi, there you go.
I still think I'll say these names better than you do.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Because
you put a French accent on.
Well, that was the starting lineup for the Juve-Lyon game. Emily, I'm going to come to you first. What were your thoughts on Lyon beating Juve, and what are your thoughts on Lyon as a team going forward for tomorrow night? As in, do you think they're still dangerous? What are the problems we could face tomorrow?
I think they've not been overly convincing, Lyon, since coming back from everything being locked down. Obviously, they finished 7th in the league, and they got beat in the final, didn't they, by PSG and what is it, De La Ligue or something kind of final. I think it's like their FA Cup, isn't it, in France? So for me, not overly convincing. Now, the monkey on every City fan's back will be that they did beat us in the group stage of the Champions League previously 2-1. We drew against them 2-2. But I don't really think that we have anything to fear. Obviously, their main threats come from Dembele, who didn't even start against Juventus, and then Depay, who scored in six successive Champions League games. So we've got to be aware of the threat that those pose. But we should be fine. You know, we look really sharp. We look really focused. I just hope that Pep doesn't overthink it, because he does have a little habit of overthinking it in the big Champions League games. But we've had enough time to focus on it, haven't we? Like I've said, and I really like these tournament-style Champions League knockouts. They're so exciting to watch. And I like the fact that it's at the end of the season as well. It's a shame that it can't happen every season like that, you know, because of the World Cups and the Euros. I like the fact that the Premier League's done and dusted, and then you've got something really exciting to look forward to in the form of the Champions League, in the knockout style form as well. But on our day, we like I said before, on our day we can beat anybody. But
yeah,
there's factors that go into that.
Of course. I mean, as I said a while back when it was announced that it's going to be in Lisbon, it's going to be a one-off game, and my thoughts on it were that I think that would suit City, because we've seen us in the past play well and then go away, and second legs have not been great. When you remember the semi-final against Real and obviously Lyon, and then you saw Monaco, and the second legs have never been good. And I've always said, I think, you know, a one-off game, and I still say today, regardless of tonight's result against Bayern, in a one-off game, I think we can beat anyone in the world. I really do.
So do
I really do. In a one-off game.
Yeah.
So I think we've got nothing else to go for, and I think your point's a really, really good one, in the fact of when we've been in these competitions before, there's still been Premier Leagues to go for. There's been there was the FA Cup, and there was other bits and pieces. Well, the Premier League's done with now. It's 100% focus, and I really like this format, how it's worked out, albeit maybe not in August or coming to September. But I think it'd be great to get the domestic titles out the way, and then focus solely on this one game competition, which is a one-off knockout. UEFA will never do it because it's money over two legs and things, but I think it makes it far more exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the fact that you haven't got that balancing act. You haven't got the distractions of the normal season. You haven't got, like, you know, normally at that point in the season we're like balancing between FA Cup and Premier League, which is a great balance to have, because it means you're doing really well. But at the moment, you can focus entirely and solely on who you play next and put all your efforts into that. And I think it works really well. But with that as well, he's then got the pressure on his back of knowing that after this season he's finished second. We went to the semi-final of the FA Cup, and it's kind of all the pressure coming in now on the Champions League. But I mean, he and the players should thrive off that pressure.
Absolutely.
They should really buzz off the pressure. But I mean, we've got nothing to fear.
I mean, I think also that you're seeing the best squads, you're seeing the best 11s, you're seeing the best teams, because everything else is done with, it's gone. Yeah. So you're not seeing we've got a really tight game against Liverpool towards the end of the season next week, so I'll rest him and I'll bring it. You're seeing the best possible lineups
Yeah.
you can see in these one-off games, and I think it's 10 times more exciting.
So do I.
You can think tonight, 8-2, if it was 8-2 in another season, but 8-2, and thinking, yeah, no, but they've got to go back to Barca and they've got to do this. And people go, no, well, I might watch 20 minutes of it, and if it's 1-0 to Bayern, it's 9 to, I'm not going to bother watching the rest of what's the point. Where it's a one-off game, it's just
Dead exciting.
Everything is on it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Martin?
And
go on, sorry, Emily. Go on.
no, I was just going to say, and that's why it's like a mixture of emotion ahead of tomorrow, because it's like everything. It's nerve-wracking, it's exciting, it's thrilling, it's what's going to happen, what's Pep going to do. We don't have a clue because we can never predict it. So yeah, it's thrilling.
So, that's definitely the case. Martin, what were your thoughts on obviously the Juve-Lyon game? Well, that was their starting lineup. I didn't go through the whole squad, but and the fact that Juve dominated in possession, dominated on shots on target, 16-6 and 6 on target to 2. Won the game 2-1, but Lyon went through on aggregate. What were your thoughts on Lyon as a team before we talk about maybe predicted lineups and things?
Well, if you remember what I said the other day, they're very similar to Man United in the way they played against us. They use the pace that they've got up top, because they're not going to beat us in midfield. They're just not going to do it. It's like Emily says, if Pep doesn't overthink it, and he doesn't do what he did at Anfield, he doesn't do what he did at White Hart Lane, and he tries to keep it. This is a one-off game, so I've always said we need to play this like it's a Premier League game, and just go out. We need to stop trying to be over tactical and play these two CDMs like he likes with Gundogan and Rodri. I don't understand it in Europe.
Yeah. With that though, I mean, we've been critical of Pep in Europe and going, he does play, but that was in two-legged affairs and things where he does play around and be a bit defensive and and yet when you say not overcomplicate things, look what he did against Real Madrid. I mean, for me, that was a massive game. If City would have gone out to Real Madrid, this season would have been extremely disappointing just winning the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And yet he played Foden in a false 9. He played, he had Rodri and Gundogan in there. He switched about wingers. He took risks in that game, but tactically superb, absolutely superb. And yet he took risks again. And I think sometimes as City fans, we look at when he makes it and it doesn't work, and we go, oh yeah, he dicks about with the team. Yeah, he played Real Madrid and he really messed about with the team and played these inverted wingers. And it worked to an absolute treat. And we absolutely dominated Real Madrid.
I agree with you. Remember what I said about Gundogan? I still thought he was too slow in the midfield. If we'd have had someone quicker in there, I think we'd have put more past Real Madrid, if you want me to be totally honest.
But his pass completion is really good.
Yeah, it is. But so's Rodri's. We've got Rodri in there.
Yeah.
Look at Rodri's pass completion. How many records has Rodri broken this year for passes and pass completions?
But my point is, are we being too overcritical of Pep when he messes about with things? Because let's face it, I was nervous going into that Real Madrid game, thinking, no, I don't think this is going to be as easy as people think. And then when I saw the team and they switched, and I saw Foden playing in a false 9 and inverted wingers, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this is and yet we absolutely dominated Real Madrid. We passed them off.
You say that
should have been more.
I'm more nervous about tomorrow than I was about Real Madrid, and maybe because it's the stage of the competition.
Maybe.
But Lyon are going to play the way we don't like, and he's a little bit of our Achilles heel in a way. I think they're going to sit back. I think they're going to soak it. And when they get the break, they're going to go. And we have to be ready for that.
But didn't we say exactly the same thing on the preview for the Real Madrid game, saying they're going to sit back, soak up pressure is on the counter attack with the like.
Some did. I didn't. I thought Real Madrid would play football.
And we just dominated them out of possession and pressed them like you won't believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what surprised me with Madrid. They didn't press. Remember, you look at Real Madrid, the 2-1 down, and the first thing they did from kickoff was go all the way back to Courtois to knock the ball around the back line. And I'm sat there thinking, this is a team that need a goal. So I was thinking Real Madrid are going to come at us from the off, and they're going to go with Hazard and everyone and come at us. And they didn't. And I think after the first few minutes, I think we went, you know what? We're going to press on them then. Stop them playing. And we did. Just Lyon's, it's a difficult one. Because you look at Hosamawa in that game at Juventus, he was immense. Depay has got lightning pace. But I'm confident we'll do it. But Lyon are going to play the way that I know we could get beaten. That's what worries me. But I still think we'll beat them.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it wasn't just Pep's tactics against Real Madrid solely on playing a false nine or Foden playing right the way across the line, inverted wingers. He actually isolated and bypassed their midfield with Ederson. Now Ederson, I think I can't remember the stats off the top of my head, but I was reading that One Football article, and I think in one particular game prior to the Real Madrid game, he'd played I think it was 13 long balls and had a success rate of about 6 or 7 out the 13. But against Real Madrid, he hit 28 long balls and had a 14%. And what he was relying on was not necessarily the Real Madrid, the City players like Jesus or Sterling or winning the headers, but we winning the second balls. And it made a massive difference in the domination in midfield. So we have, Pep is so clever. And I believe that he'll have another plan for tomorrow. Tom, thoughts on Lyon before we sort of go through looking at who we think the lineup may be?
I'm pumped up for tomorrow, Andy. I'm telling you, I'm pumped up. I want to see a big performance. Like I said in the game after the post-match fan cam after Liverpool. We are the best team in the world when we play on our game. When we've got something in our minds, every single player 1 to 11, we will beat any team possible. Because if they've got something in the mind, City will do it. With a manager like Pep, something will happen. Knockout football is one of the best things for us at this point, and I like you guys were saying earlier, and I've always, since they made the decision on how to do the Champions League this year, it brings more excitement to it. Look at the games that we've watched so far. The first 3 games have been some of the best Champions League football I've watched in the past few years as a neutral. Hopefully it's really easy tomorrow and not as exciting and really nerve-wracking, because it won't be good for my health, because being a City fan does that anyway. But yeah, I'm pumped for tomorrow. I think that we just need to go all out and just smash them into touch, prove to everybody that's already doubting us. The game's not Lyon are going to bring it to us. There's no doubt about that. People are saying, oh, Lyon this, Lyon that. Look at 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago is irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. It's a knockout game of football. Everything's relying on it. Lyon aren't going to be in the Champions League next year, so they're going to be going for it. We're going for it because it's the only thing we've got for this season. So I just hope we go out of the park and smash them into touch, because it's what we need. It's what we need, because it's just, we need to show everybody how good we are at playing football, because it's there. It's 100% there. In some of the games this season, it's been there. And the games that we've played so far, Real Madrid, home and away, we've shown that to the world. So we need to carry on and show it. So yeah, that's my look onto it. So I'm pumped up for tomorrow. I want to see a big performance.
There you go. Well, people are agreeing with you, Tom. This said exactly, Tom.
Yeah.
Others have said yes, Tom. There you go. So you've wound up a few people. City fans on here. They're ready. Let's smash them. 10-0 sounds good. Yeah.
I think you need to put Large Martin on the screen again.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Oh, Large Martin. There you go. That's obviously Martin wants Large Martin to comment. So
you want me to go on the case?
Go on. Well, no. You'll see her later when she comes upstairs and goes into your.
All right. Let's change that story.
OG Debate says, with a new haircut. Yes, Tom. There you go.
Everybody's going. Let's go. Come on, boys. Up the Blues. Let's play now.
Zachariah Ibrahim says Tom should be the City manager in the future.
Come on, boys.
There you go.
I believe I was positive as well, though. Come on.
She was. Emily was very positive. The next church.
Did I come across as negative or something? What was going on here? I didn't say we
5 minutes, poor guy.
No, he's gone on there. I'd vote Tom for the team talk tomorrow. There you go. Tom.
Yeah, there's a reason Chris has gone.
Yeah, I know. Right. Listen, no. Tom has his. If you don't know Emily, Tom has his own little. He has his little fan club in Croatia.
Oh,
they all love him. We don't know who they are.
Mike Bassett's son. That's brilliant. Mike Bassett's son. Have you heard what the crowd is shouting?
Martin, Andy, you sat Tom for president. There you go. They love his cute little face and his little Warburton's, his Warburton's thick loaf haircut. They love it. Thank you, Alan, very much for that. Martin tells me he's a very large boy.
I told you I knew who it was.
It might be him. Right, on to tomorrow's lineup before this sort of deteriorates into Friday night social. It deteriorates into all sorts of garbage on here on a Friday night. But anyway, right, I think we're all agreeing.
She's happy about it.
Yeah, the keeper. We're going for Edison. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's going to think Scott Carson or anyone else. Right. Okay.
If they do, they're not right.
I'm going to come to you first, Emily.
God.
We normally go with a 4-3-3. We know that Pep switches it around, but just 4-3-3 is a standard. I'm going to go to the right back, and if you do say Walker, I want you to just say a few words about how Walker's played this season. If Walker is your right back for tomorrow,
he's got to be, hasn't he? For me, Walker's been one of our best players this season. Honestly, he had a bit of a wobble, but he has been phenomenal, and for me, he's up there with one of the. I'll probably call me crazy, but one of the best right backs out there at the moment.
Easily.
I love his attitude as well. I love that he cares. I love his passion, because I do think that passion and desire has been one of the things that we've lacked this season. With Kumps going, obviously, he leaves a massive void. He was Mr. Manchester City, but Kyle Walker has been one of the players that has looked like he really, really cares. And you need somebody out there who's like that. So for me, Kyle Walker all day long. I just think he's brilliant. I love his pace. You see what he did the other day? If he would have scored that goal, it would have been like Carlos.
I know.
Phenomenal.
I think, I mean, he was right up there for me with, all right, KDB was player of the year, but he was probably second. I thought he's had a wonderful season.
Yeah.
It's absolutely phenomenal. His pace is just, they posted it a few weeks ago. It was recorded as the fastest in the Premier League. And we're talking there on the likes of Adama Traore, that everyone thinks is really fast. And Walker's always said that I'm miles faster than Raz, I'm miles faster than Sane, and they've all had this joke about 100-metre sprint. But he's been proven to be clocked as the fastest in the Premier League. I think he's been brilliant, absolutely superb.
He's a powerhouse as well. He's somebody that you want on your team fighting in your corner, and he's been a difference in so many games for me this season. So he's got to be on. He'll be there. He'll be on there. It's just the other side that I'm not sure about. The other, like in the left back position.
Okay, well that's something. Andy Milne says 100% agree with Emily on Walker. There you go. He agrees with you, Emily. Iona Beat says Walker all day long. He is pure City.
Yeah.
Neil says Walker best right back, not like that converted midfielder at Liverpool. Sergeant Orson's on. Hello, we've not spoke to you for a while, mate. Hello, how are you? Love that beard, Andy.
people on a wind up tonight or something?
I don't know. Walker is actually better than Zabit, and he can play in goal, says Blue Heart.
Yeah, versatile.
Good point. Is there one more part? Yes, we're going to do another part, mate. We're going to talk about other stuff later. Lovely colour. Somebody's on a bit of a wind up.
What's going on here tonight?
I don't know.
Look at Alex.
Oh, no, Warren, you'll have to come back and post it at the end because we're going to go through each player, mate. Sam Elliott says Walker really wants it.
That's what we want.
That's what he said in COVID lockdown.
That's brilliant.
Walker is 100% City. Reminds me of Company. All-out commitment for the cause. Walker Raymondo firmly says Walker faster than Roadrunner BP. Yeah, absolutely. Right, Martin, you going for Walker?
Yeah.
Tom?
Definitely.
Yeah, 100% has to be Kyle.
Yeah, I think it's a full house anyway. Right, I'm going to come to Tom first. Left back.
It has to be.
He loves this player. Go on, come on, here he comes. Watch him go all red and flush now when he says his name. Go on.
It has to be the main man, the guy who's performed and was one of the man of the matches against Real Madrid, our Portuguese powerhouse, João Cancelo at right back.
Okay.
Left back, sorry. Left back.
All right, okay. Shut up. Let's move on.
No, I'm going to explain why he needs to be
No. Go on, mate. Go on.
Because he's come in. Mendy obviously was suspended for the last game, and he played really well. You can't deny that. We looked very confident in that position. And he's played more than Mendy in the past few weeks, which is the only concern I have with Benjamin coming back in. He didn't play the last 2 games because they wanted to try and fill him in. That's why I think he should start. It's a big risk bringing in Benjamin Mendy again, who's not played a lot this season. I think it needs to be Cancelo. Any other answer, like Sergeant Awesome said, is wrong because it needs to be him. He's the best, and that defense can't be replaced after that performance, in my opinion. But yeah, João for me in left back. I think he deserves it after how the shifts he's put in as well.
Clown.
Martin.
Well, I am not going to join the Tom and João fan club.
I'm getting João on the back of my shirt, by the way, next season, so you all know.
Another one that'll go on.
Has anyone got any tumbleweed? It's got to be Bendy Mender all day long.
Okay. Why? Okay, I'm going to ask you. I think you know my thoughts on the whole thing, but Mendy. Why Mendy over Cancelo when he had such a good game against Real Madrid?
He did, and João Cancelo did absolutely nothing wrong. Just for me, defensively did nothing wrong. Going forward, there was a massive, for me, drop-off between him and Mendy. Because if you look at the crosses, Cancelo was hitting the corner flag on the other side 9 times out of 10. Defensively, Cancelo is better than Mendy at left-back and has played better. But for me, tomorrow I would go for his attacking prowess. I'd go because, like I said, I don't think Lyon are going to push. They're going to be more on the break. So I'd have Mendy playing. Sir
Alan says, thank you for the super chat. He says, don't be silly, Tom. Mendy all day long.
If he plays, watch what happens.
Okay.
Watch what happens.
Coming to you, Emily, then. We think it's only going to be between 2 players. I mean, though, Martin had loved Zinchenko to be in there. But
nope.
Cancelo or Mendy, who are you going for?
Oh.
This is so hard because neither have really convinced me in any way, shape or form. And I kind of disagree. I think Cancelo has got to convince me defensively rather than going forward. I would go with Mendy.
Well, I've said it all. I've said it all along with Cancelo. Said it when I did the player analysis on him last summer when we were looking at buying him. That even the Italian analysis, 3 independent ones said he can't defend. He's okay going forward, but he can't defend. Yeah, to be fair, the last few games he's done all right. But he did well against Real Madrid. But the previous 2 games he played, we weren't playing much, and if you had a natural left back like Mendy versus Cancelo, who's a converted into a left back who's not great at defending, has to cut in on his right foot, whose crossing hasn't been great. I mean, I'd take the natural left back all day long, if I'm being honest.
It's the best of a bad situation. It is. It's like that. That is for me, a real problem position that needs fixing because of the way that Pep's system works with the wing backs. You've got to have somebody who you can rely on week in, week out. You've got to have somebody who's like the combination maybe of the two. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm not convinced at the moment it's either of them.
Right. Okay. So you're going for Mendy.
Yeah.
Martin.
Unconvincingly.
You're going for Mendy, and I'm going for Mendy. So Mendy is in our team for tonight. But I want to come back to you, Emily. Just a question then. If you're saying that Cancelo hasn't convinced you so far as a defender, and I'm assuming you're talking about the right back and left back roles, and you think Mendy still isn't convincing you long term, whether that be injuries or not, do we need a new left back at Manchester City?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been saying it for a while, but will they spend the money on it after they've spent money on Mendy and Cancelo? You know, have they identified that as a real problem position? Because, like I say, the way that Pep plays, he relies on the wing backs, and it is a problem if they're not 100%, and if there's question marks, then it needs addressing. So for me, it's just not a convincing situation to be in when you're scratching your head trying to choose somebody in a Champions League quarterfinal game. It's just, we shouldn't be doing it, should we really?
Well, we shouldn't be, but we are. We're in that position, unfortunately. Yeah. If I said let's end this season, I'm coming back to you because these two have loads of say on Man City Fan TV. I'm coming back to you because you're on here for the first time. So moving forward then, after this season, do you think we do need another left back? Or do you think if Mendy was fit for most of a whole season, would you rather stick with Mendy, or do you think we should be going in for another left back?
I think that's the problem because I don't really think we've seen enough of either. I don't think they've had a decent run in the team for us to really be convinced either way. We've not seen enough of either one of them. We've seen glimpses, but it's not really been consistent enough, has it, to form a really valid opinion on it, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely certain. I mean, Cancelo, it's his first year, but certainly for Mendy with his injuries, we haven't seen a run of 15, 20 games and things like that. But interesting, but we three of us have gone over Tom. Tom, you might be right. You might be right. You might be right tomorrow. It might be Cancelo.
I just hope that gives him another chance because it's just like he deserves it. You know, he deserves it because he's played there and he played well. That's all I'm hoping. You know, if Mendy does come in, then I'll back him 100%. Like I said, the 11 that goes out, I'll support him all the way. But if Joao plays, then I'll be happy because, you know, I have a little soft spot for good old Joao.
We know that. Right, moving on.
Sometimes you don't get what you deserve because look at Angelino.
Oh, come on.
No, it's not. You know, what one pass? I mean, it's not. It's not a good. Listen, and this is the social media. This sums up social media in a nutshell, and the way that people. This sums it up in one tweet. I read last night. I've been calling for Upamecano to come to City since last summer. And I've been slagged off and slagged off and slagged off. Upamecano is garbage. He's this, that, and the other. We did a full German rundown on all the best German players for the future in August last year, a year ago, and I got slagged off. No, he's not good enough. No, he has one good game, and people watch it, and suddenly, forget Koulibaly. We need Upamecano. Upamecano's the best player in the world. Yeah, I've been slagged off for the last 6 months saying Upamecano's not good enough for City. But anyway.
And similarly, Koulibaly had an absolute mare, and suddenly nobody wants him. Yeah, you know, we're all a football manager, aren't we?
Under.
No, I've never wanted Koulibaly for 120 million. I've said it for a year. That's
the right price.
I said 65 million. Get him.
Anything 2.5 million, Andy.
Forgot your friend said that, didn't he?
Or is it 62.8?
But anyway, we move on. We digress. Right. I think we all think Laporte's going to play. Yeah?
Yeah.
So Laporte's in. Right, Emily.
Don't.
Who, I mean, this is the conundrum, isn't it? Who partners him tomorrow after Fernandinho against Real Madrid? So does Fernandinho stay? Considering Depay is very, very quick, but then Benzema had a good game. But who partners him tomorrow night?
I don't know. It's the simple answer. That's the worst, isn't it? It's probably worse than left back.
Yeah. Oh, it's miles worse than left back. You know, if Cancelo plays, he played well against Madrid. If Mendy plays, Mendy can have brilliant games, but the centre back pairing is like,
yeah, it's a nightmare. Oh my god, because Fernandinho gets caught out with pace. Garcia does as well sometimes, and I'm just not. I mean, I don't even want to throw Otamendi out because he's so temperamental and hot-headed. But I mean, for me, it would be between Otamendi and Fernandinho. They'd probably play Garcia. City fans will probably hate it because they're like, why is he playing him? He wants to play for Barcelona.
Yeah, Paul Stando said Stones. I mean, I'll be surprised if he. In my opinion, I'd be surprised if he changes anything from the Real Madrid game, unless he's seen something with Depay and others that he thinks that could be a problem. Martin?
So hard.
Nicholas Otamendi.
Well, that's what I said against Real Madrid, but
Garcia will never play for City again. That's just my opinion. I think that's the same as Sane. I think once you cross the boss...
see that comment.
Yeah, but Alan hates Otamendi, and I've always stuck up for Otamendi. I've always thought he makes the odd rick here and there, but he's a solid defender.
I agree with Emma. Fernandinho's pace, and I've always said it, he can't head. Cannot get out and head the ball. You saw that against Madrid. And John Stones, I just have lost all confidence in. So it has to be. I'm down to Otamendi because it's the only one left. That's the problem. This is what we're saying. We sat there looking like.
Thanks, Alan.
It's like picking one, and it sounds all the same. It's like picking someone out of a bad bunch to go.
Yeah.
Who's going in? And the scary thing is, by this time in 2 weeks, we could have two great centre backs who could have just gone slot straight in, and we're not going to be able to have them.
I bet City fans will probably think we're being really disrespectful as well by just completely disregarding John Stones and, mentioning bits about Otamendi. But we've got to be realistic about this is a Champions League quarter-final, and we've got to have the best of the pick of whoever we've got, because I know that everybody's played the part, throughout the years. It goes without saying, we aren't being disrespectful. We're just trying to be realistic.
I'd be really surprised if he brings Stones in out the cold.
Yeah.
In a quarterfinal of a Champions League. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me it just would not surprise me if Pep did something like that. But I must admit, I'd be very surprised.
There's going to be something that none of us predict.
Yeah,
without a doubt. A real curveball.
Absolutely. Tom, who are you going for?
Like I said earlier, it's a big game. We need passion. We need determination on the pitch. And we need somebody who can stick in a tackle and won't be scared to put a bandage on his head. And that's Nicholas Otamendi, the general. He needs to be in there. We need to take no prisoners tomorrow night. He's probably going to be his last... It could be, or it can be one of his last games for us. And he's always put the bloody pride on the badge. Always. I'm going to go back to that earlier on this season when he scored the goal to get one back against United. His celebration, how he celebrated that, showed true determination and passion to try and get another goal. So I think you need somebody in there who understands, first of all, the pain that they've gone through in the recent Champions League games. He was in the defence against Real Madrid when we lost with Pellegrini. He was there when we lost against Barcelona. He was there when we lost against Liverpool. He was there when we lost, and we need somebody there who understands and is passionate about it to help Kyle down that right-hand side and to help Laporte as well to partnership. So it has to be Otamendi because it's the only guy there that shows passion on the pitch. Because Garcia is young. He's probably not going to play for us again. Stones is in and out of it. It needs to be Otamendi for me.
I think it'll be Garcia. I'm going to go.
You
with
think Garcia?
I think, yeah, I'll go with it because I think he'll play him.
Do you know?
Right.
I wouldn't have as an outside chance. Don't be surprised if he has someone like Rodrigo there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Like Emily said, it's Pep in the Champions League.
Yeah.
He
All
throws
bets are off.
curveballs all the time.
Yeah. It could do. So, Martin, you're going for Otamendi.
Yeah.
Tom, you're going Otamendi.
100%.
Okay, so we've got 2 for that. You're going for Garcia, Emily.
Yeah, I just think that I don't know. I would go with Otamendi, but I think he'll go with Garcia.
Well, I'm going for Fernandinho. I'm going for Fernandinho. Even though I said Otamendi should have played against Real Madrid, he didn't. Ferner played. We won 2-1. I'd be surprised if he changes it, and that's the only reason because I've said Otamendi all along. So Otamendi wins it. Otamendi is 2 votes to 1 and 1. So Otamendi gets the vote. Right. Holding midfielder. Is anybody going for anything different from Rodri?
Are we having 1 or 2?
Well, no, we're just going to have the 1 to start with as the holding midfielder, the main one, which will be Rodri. Gundogan won't hold, I don't think, tomorrow. But Rodri, anybody going anything different?
Rodri.
Right, so we're going to go. Rodri is the number 1 of 3. So who are the 2 ahead of him then? Come to you, Emily. KDB. KDB 1. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So I think we've all said Rodri and KDB. So it's one more then. If you want to change the front 3, you can do, but we just normally do a 4-3-3 and it can be interchangeable. So we'll go with 1 more then with Rodri and KDB.
Are you putting Foden in there, or is he going further up?
It's up to you. Wherever you want to play him.
Probably Foden.
So you're going to go Foden in the midfield, so you're not going to play him further up in 3.
I would play him in then are you too soft in the middle? I don't know.
So if you're going to play Foden on the left, or in a false 9, then there's somebody else coming into the midfield 3 with KDB and Rodri. So if you want Foden further up,
Gundo. Let's go with Gundo.
So you're going to stick with the same. You're going to go the same as the Real Madrid.
Yeah, we're going to go with Gundo.
Barcelona has just been sacked.
Well, there's no surprise in that.
He just come up now. Breaking news, he's gone.
Oh, so the plan worked.
Yeah, it did.
Already.
Martin, who's playing with Rodri and KDB? And if you're going to go Foden and you want Foden further up, keep Foden further up. And Emily said Gundogan, who played against Real Madrid.
This is the problem because it's Champions League and it's Pep.
But he played Gundogan and Rodri and KDB in Real Madrid.
But my front 3 is going to change.
It's up to you.
I've got my boys got to play tomorrow. I'm going to go Foden.
In the midfield?
In the midfield.
Okay, all right. So you're going Foden, KDB and Rodri. Tom?
I want Gundogan in there personally. I think he played really well against Real Madrid. Like I said before, you can't drop players that have a good performance in the big games. And I think that Rodri, Gundogan and De Bruyne in the middle is a solid unit to support the defence and the attack. Because you've got the attacking with Kevin, and then you've got the defensive mindset of Rodri, and then you've got Gundogan who can filter in the attacking and the defensive mindset. So, yeah, I want those 3 in there. I think Gundogan is the right man to go in there. It's probably obvious. That's probably the only one that we're going to get right because obviously we know how much Pep loves Gundogan. Yeah, I think it needs to be Gundogan in there for me.
Okay, well, I've gone for Gundogan as well.
Don't be surprised if KDB plays his role of going backward forward tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, we can't work out. I mean, we're talking tactics there rather than position. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. They could all rotate and whatever. But I'm with Tom and Emily. I'm going for Gundogan. I think he just is a champ. Is a champion. He's a European player. I think he plays well in Europe. I thought he had a good game against Real Madrid. Keeps the ball well, rotates it well, and he actually pressed quite a lot as well, which is unlike him. So our three in midfield is Rodri, KDB, and Gundogan. What I'm going to do now is rather than go for one player because it's a three and people change things around. Emily, I'm going to go for your forward three.
Sterling.
Where?
Sterling on the left.
Okay.
Jesus. People get mad when you pronounce it wrong. So just say Jesus and Jesus. You know, cover it up.
Gabby.
Yeah, let's go with Gabby.
You noticed that on Twitter this week as well. Everyone went down me about the way. It's like, what?
So Sterling on the left, Gabby up front, and who's on the right?
I am torn. I don't know whether to go with Mahrez or Foden. Don't know. Mahrez.
He's dropping Foden. Whoa.
See?
The Algerians will love you. They will love you.
Mahrez.
We'll be invaded now. Look, there you go.
You've got a guest on who speaks sense.
Jesus Sterling.
Yes.
Mahrez right. Foden to come on. Okay. Yeah.
Foden is an impact player.
Could do. Martin, who's your front three?
Mahrez, Gabby, Sterling.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've gone the same. Okay, Tom.
See, it's one of them, innit? Again, you know, it's like after such a good performance last week, it's hard. You know how much I like Mahrez. I think he's a great player, but I don't think this game's cut out for him. I don't think it's the right game for him to come in. So my front three, Sterling on the right, because I think that's the best place, as Carl also agrees on, and a lot of people do agree with that. Sterling on the right is the best. Jesus up front, you can't drop him, and I think it'll be Foden on the left. I think he'll play Foden on the left because he looks class there. Somebody says Tom wants Cancelo up front. He probably, who knows? If Pep's line up, it could possibly happen. No, I'm joking. So I think it'll be Foden, Jesus, and Sterling up front. I think that is the best three that you need to put up against those three at the back. You have to remember they play with a three at the back, or did in the last game. And I think we could easily test that, especially with how Jesus plays in behind the defenders with the pace of Foden and Sterling. I think that is the best option.
Okay, well, it looks like it's 2 versus 2 on this one. So I think it's a split down the middle because we've got Emily and Martin going for Mahrez, Jesus and Sterling on the left. And me and Tom going Sterling on the right, Gabby Jesus and Phil Foden on the left. I don't know.
Don't you dare say it.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Emily, ladies can choose. So let me just mix this up. You can go which hand, ring hand, or this hand is something in. If you get it right, you get the. Which one?
You're right, my left.
Ring finger or not ring finger?
Not ring.
Not ring. You win it. So tomorrow is going to be Mahrez on the right, Gabby Jesus in front, and Raheem Sterling on the left.
You do know it won't be. It will be none of this because it's Pep.
We have no idea.
Not a clue.
We just ask guests because we've got no idea who picked.
No idea.
It's
fun guessing.
I know. What do you say, Martin?
Sterling in the middle, Gabby left, Mahrez right.
Well, yeah, I mean the front three, you can play. So you won.
In out, shake it all about.
Right. Final question before we go then, and let Emily go. So before she goes, we just want a score prediction of the people on tonight. So Emily, you're going first. What is your score prediction for tomorrow night's game, 8:00 kickoff, Champions League quarterfinals versus Lyon?
3-1 City. Let's be positive. 3-1.
I like that one. Pep probably
3-1.
picks the team the same way, left hand or right hand.
Yeah, three. yeah. Absolutely spot on. That's the way I'll pick teams in future. Martin,
I'm going with Shiv 4-1.
You're 4-1 City.
And I think I've got a damn good percentage rate this season on guessing scores.
All right. Tom?
Don't jinx yourself. Don't jinx yourself, please don't. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, all out. We need to go for it. I'm expecting big things tomorrow night. I want a 3-1 win. I feel that we can do it. If we play to our highest standards like we have done, and we go full out, and we show everybody in the world how good we are as a football team, I think 3-1 definitely.
Okay, well, I've gone 2-1 City. I've gone for a very, very tight game. Might be 2-0 City, and they get one near the end and make it very nervy for us. But I don't care as long as we go through. I think hopefully it'll be a good game. I hope they just don't defend and make things, like a Premier League game when it's just frustrating and City can't break them down.
And we whip those crosses in. Let's not just keep whipping the ball in when we've got a tiny little striker up for it.
Exactly.
Because that is the most frustrating thing to watch. It does my head in. It drives me crazy. That's like our plan B when all else fails and it never works.
No. And I think we saw that with Madrid. They, instead of pushing, they stopped, they came back, they went back into midfield. They were dragging their midfield all over the place, certainly in the second half. They had them so spread. And I think it might take until the second half because I think they'll be stubborn. I think they'll defend well. They might sit back. It might make it difficult. If we can get a quick goal, it'd be good. But if not, I think we might just keep rotating the ball and push them and tire them out. It's humid here tonight. I'm sure it's humid in Lisbon as well. So, we're all four of us are unanimous. We're going for a City win. What's that, Emily? A pleasure to have you here, giving your thoughts on that. You and our club. Hopefully, see you back ASAP. As always, thank you to Andy Martin, Tom's hairdresser.
Sergio, that's his name, Sergio.
I know. Chanurb is a regular. He's not been on for a while. He came on yesterday or the day before. Does Mendy or Cancelo play tomorrow? Go back and watch the video, mate. You're a bit late. Actually, I'll give you a clue. Mendy was chosen by 3 out of 4. There you go. So Mendy plays tomorrow. Look, you know his face is the one there on camera that picked Cancelo. Poor Tom. Look at him. Look at him, bless him. He's trying to put.
He'll probably play though. You know what Pep's like.
He's putting on a baby face now, isn't he?
You'll get your wish, Tom.
I know.
You'll get it.
Good.
Right, listen, guys, I want to say this is part 1. We are going to come back shortly and do part 2 where we'll talk about some transfer news and bits and pieces for half an hour. But Emily was very kind to give us just over an hour tonight, so I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks, guys. Good. It's been ages.
It's always a good evening on the Friday.
Good laugh.
So yeah.
I'm so excited as well for tomorrow. Just one thing before I go. I just wish that we could be watching it together. Yeah. I'm absolutely gutted that I can't go to a pub tomorrow. All I want to do is go to a pub tomorrow and be surrounded by blues, bit of atmosphere to make it even more exciting. I'm gutted that we can't all be together.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to talk in the next part a little bit about crowds coming back, but crowds are not allowed to sing, and I'm thinking, it's like, how sanitized do you want to be? I mean,
I was like that in Tenerife.
Well, there's nobody there, is there? So.
I also went to a bar with music and everything else, and there was a sign. This is not joking. It's a government rule over there. There's a sign on all the walls. You are not allowed to dance. You have to just sit in your seat. Right. This is Tenerife in a bar. You're on holiday and you're thinking this is.
And where is the fun in that?
Absolutely.
Nowhere. No fun.
Emily, we are going to get you back on the channel very, very soon, and we're going to talk a little bit more. We want to do a 1-to-1 with you about King of the Kippax and things like that.
Yeah.
everything else, and a little bit about you and what you're doing. But
don't bore everybody.
No, you've got people. People will want to know. People will definitely want to know. So, if people want to follow you on Twitter, or is there a Twitter handle or something that people can follow you if they want to on Twitter?
If you want to be bored, Kippax Girl Emily. So thank you so much again. It's been such a laugh. I've loved it, honestly, and it's been so good ahead of tomorrow just to get people more excited.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, we will get Emily back on, and there is something we're talking about King of the Kippax and things like that. We're going to do Emily on the channel, so it'll be more of a
Twitter handle in the description.
We'll add it in. But anyway, listen, guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. I want to say a massive thank you again to Emily for coming on. Martin and Tom, we'll see you in part 2 in about 5 or 10 minutes time, going live on the channel. But we'll have a quick break. We'll be back. But thank you, Emily. And listen,
come on,
Martin.
City.
Absolutely. Can't Emily stay and hook Martin, please?
Right, guys, I'm going. Bye-bye.
Oh, bless it.
Hey, there you go. Everyone's loved you having you on. Kippax Girl. Thanks, Emily. There you go.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been brilliant having you on. One thing,
thank you.
We will put Emily's Twitter handle in the description. She can go over and follow her on Twitter. But like I said, we are going to do another video with her, and we're going to talk all about City and the Kippax, King of the Kippax stuff, and we'll talk a bit more about Emily and what she's up to these days and things like that. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Part 1 of the Friday Night Social. It was all about the Barca versus Bayern game, and also the lineup for the Lyon game tomorrow night, and we gave our thoughts on Lyon. But anyway, don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell icon, give it a thumbs up. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes, around about 11:30. We'll be back for part 2, which will be about half an hour, talking about the latest transfer news. But anyway, take care, and we'll see you shortly.